Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please feel free to write me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other video that I have posted in the past. If you have any video that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And when it comes to home cooking, in order to make it sustainable, the most important aspect of home cooking is to develop the confidence. Now, confidence is essential, and it is much better to be able to cook with spontaneity and intuition. You can walk into the kitchen and look at what you have in the refrigerator and able to decide what you want to cook right away without have to use any recipes. And this is where template-based cooking comes in. With templates, you can cook almost anything you want. All you have to do is to take your template and see what kind of ingredients will be appropriate for the template, and you make adjustments to incorporate the ingredients. In this video, I would like to introduce to you a template that are used by professional cooks all the time. And this template is referred to as a combinatory template. What it means is that you take two templates and you combine them together to make a single dish. Now, this combinatory template is particularly important when you try to combine two food ingredients that could be very different in characteristics. For example, a food ingredient such as chicken that require a very different approach in how to cook it in order to achieve its optimum flavor and texture. On the other hand, you approach a vegetable medley with very different approach. So this vegetable stir-fry template is very distinct from a chicken stir-fry template. And it is difficult to combine them to achieve the optimum outcome for each of these two kinds of ingredients. So the best thing to do is that you cook one dish with one template, and then another dish with another template, and then you combine them together. And this is why it is referred to as a combinatorial template. So the first template of this dish is a chicken stir-fry. Basically, it is a chicken stir-fry template that based on coating the chicken first with cornstarch, and then you stir-fry it. And the cornstarch in this case do not use for a stir-frying. Rather than the cornstarch is used to protect the chicken against the heat. And so this will create a chicken with a texture that are moist and tender inside. So as shown in here, with my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok, I add the chicken directly to the wok, which has been coated with cornstarch. As you can tell, the chicken is different because it has been coated with cornstarch, and if stir-fry in such a way that characteristics of this type of treatment. Now the chicken has been cut very thinly. So in this template you're already familiar with, you know how long to cook this chicken to achieve the desired texture that you want. Again, using this approach, you're able to keep the chicken moist and tender inside. However, you do not want to have a crispy texture on the surface of chicken, because in this dish, I'd rather to have the chicken have a soft texture. I think it will work better with the other ingredients that comes in the vegetable medley. Since I'm treating this chicken stir-fry as an independent dish, so I'm going to season it the way I would normally do with such a dish. I'm going to create a light teriyaki flavor. So I'm going to season it with a combination of 2 parts of oyster sauce to 1 part of hoisin sauce. And you can adjust the ratio or adjust the quantity depend on how strong a flavor that you want to provide for this chicken. And at the end, before I finish up, I add some scallions. Now scallions is great to use. You can use it just like onion. And the advantage of scallion is that it is easier to prep. And furthermore, is that it's very fast to cook. I add it at the end of the cooking process. All I have to do is to mix it up, and that will give the dish a nice aromatic onion flavor. And the reason that combinatory stir-frying works very well in stir-frying, because it cooks so quickly. As you can tell, it takes only minutes to cook this chicken stir-fry. Now I'm going to set it aside. I'm ready now to cook the second part of this dish. The second part of this dish is just a basic vegetable stir fry. And I use this basic stir fry template to accommodate 3 different vegetables that I'm going to cook. So I'm going to start out with a small amount of eggplant. And the eggplant in this case is served as a secondary ingredient. It is in support of the primary ingredients, which is some baby bok choy. Now this baby bok choy has a green color because it's the kind of baby bok choy known as Shanghai bok choy. Now, is there any flavor difference between, say, the white bok choy? I think it depends on individuals. Some people swear that they are very different. But for me, I really do not see a huge difference between them. I just buy whatever that is least expensive, that is on sale at the time. Now, one question you might ask is that, how long can you save the baby bok choy? Now, when I bought the baby bok choy back from the store, I cut them up and I prep them and I store them in plastic container. And usually, this will last up to 2 weeks or longer. But this only is the case if you cut it up in advance. If you leave it in the bag that it comes in, you will find that in about a week, first of all, the leaf will turn yellow, and then the stem will become rotted. When that happens, then you cannot use it. But if just the leaf turn yellow as shown in here, it really does not affect the flavor of the vegetable. So as you can see, based on this judgment, this actually would turn out to be perfectly fine. Even the leaf appear to be yellow, because once you cook it, you will not notice it. However, if you insist that you do not like to have yellow leaf, then you can get a pair of scissors and cut them out. Now, cooking this dish actually takes a relatively longer than when you cook the chicken. And that's why we do not want to cook the chicken and the vegetable together, because if you cook the chicken together with the vegetables, you will find that chicken will become overcooked, particularly if you want to start out the chicken in the beginning to sear the chicken. As we continue to cook this dish, one thing you notice that is that how long should you stir fry it? Now, that has a great deal of circumstances depending on how you want to approach this. If you want the vegetable to be really tender, then you stir fry it longer. However, just stir frying alone will not achieve the tenderness that you want, particularly of the stem, because the stem tends to more resistant to the penetration of the oil. In order for the heat to enter the stem, you have to steam the vegetables. But for some individuals, they like the stem to be crisp, and I am one of those persons. Rather than having the stem to be soft and soggy, I rather for it to be crunchy, and because the outside of the stem will be soft due to the hot oil, it will create a nice contrast. At this point, the bok choy has pretty much achieved the consistency that I want. So the next step is for me to add the shiitake mushroom. Since I only want to cook the shiitake mushroom very lightly, and this is the reason that I add them toward the end of the cooking process. For this dish, I decided I'm going to steam it very lightly. But instead of using water, I'm going to use something different. I'm going to use wine to steam it. And I think the wine will add great flavor to the dish. So I add a small amount of wine at a time to the bottom of the wok. In fact, I look for areas that a food has been burned and stuck to the bottom of the wok. And I use the wine as a way to clean that area. I call this method spot cleaning, or sometimes people call it deglazing. This method actually worked really well because it allowed me to get the flavor back to the dish. At the same time, it allowed me to clean the wok so that when I bring it to the sink, it will be much easier to clean. I use this method all the time, particularly when I find that sauces burn to the surface of the wok, which happen quite often. And this way, by adding water, in this case I add wine, it will actually reclaim those sauces back to the dish. The dish is pretty much done, so I turn off the heat. I'm going to season the vegetable medley very lightly with some oyster sauce. Again, you have to figure it out pretty much on your own or decide whether this works for you. To me, the oyster sauce and hoisin sauce combination is truly a versatile sauce pairing. By varying the amount and ratio, you can achieve a wide variety of seasoning outcome. And when you use for different vegetables, you might want to adjust them appropriately. So the final step is to mix the chicken with the vegetables. And a few quick mix, the dish is ready to be served. This dish demonstrates the impact and also the advantage of combinatory stir frying. Basically, you have two different templates, you stir fry them separately, and then you combine them together. The advantage I have mentioned in the beginning is that by doing each of the templates distinctively, you can achieve the optimum texture, doneness, and flavor of each one of those items. And when you combine them together, you will get a much more satisfying culinary experience. Okay, I hope you find this information useful. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine using my fast cooking system. This cooking system will help you to make home cooking practical, efficient, creative, and fun. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.